Hello and welcome back to Digital Assets Daily. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in your corner of the world. So what are you thinking about all the news coming out? There's almost, I don't even want to say an even split, but man, there's a major divide in the XRP community right now. And I mean, it's all for good. I can't fault anyone for that. I mean, a great deal of people, let's just even go back to the last bull run that we had a movement and XRP wasn't suppressed and manipulated, overflowing into, I want to say it was January 15th. It was around that date. It might have been exactly that date where XRP hit an all-time high of $3.84. We had a poll in the community and there was a handful of people here in the specific community of Digital Asset Daily, within our group, guys. There was a handful of you who had bought at the peak. So there's a lot of great reason. I mean, we're talking 6 years of suppression. If you're looking at the immediate, comparison to meme coins, even came out today. I guess there's one based off of Bitcoin now called Dogcoin, D-O-G coin, and it is just blazing through the roof. So it's interesting for me to sit back because I'm a believer. I'm not a trader. I'm a believer of buying and holding long term, kind of like, like retail. I mean, not retail, but like real estate. You buy and you hold it. And so that's kind of the way I've always done it. I know there's some of you guys, you make a killing. You guys are amazing. I'm blown away. I love reading your success stories of you traded, you bought, you sold. I'm OG, I'm old school, man. I've been here for over 10 years, so we didn't really play around too much back then with our assets, and we always felt the belief of knowing what we hold because we knew the new system would be built on it. And some of the people who've held for a long time, they have the belief of when I sell, the price is going up, period. If I sell today and I'm going to buy out, it could be a perfect cycle. Every other month it goes up, you sell out, it dips, and you buy low. It could be a perfect cycle. But some of the people who've been around for a while, our feelings are that very second I sell is going to be the moment it takes off. So that's kind of the OG belief, which, we might have missed a lot of profits. But again, we're here for long term, so it's not a big deal. We knew what we invested in. We were confident in our investment. We spent what we could afford to hold for long term. There's the other saying where it's like, invest what you can afford to lose. But my whole perspective is invest what you can afford to hold long term, because I know what I invested in with tons and tons and tons and thousands of hours of research, in which I try to share with you guys. Unlike a lot of other channels, we don't tell you what to think. We know you guys are intelligent. We don't want to insult that. So we share the information so that you know that your investment is doing well, because everything we've shared, it's kind of like a mini series, so to speak. Everything we share connects. And we don't tell you because we know some of you know, and the rest of you, we want you to, like critical thinking. We want to keep that, alive and well inside you. So unlike a lot of other channels, we just don't do that. We think it's great that they do, and if you're into that, follow them also. It's great to follow a few different people, man. It's just, if nothing else, again, for the entertainment, for the information, just for the personalities. I mean, it's kind of like listening to music. You always want something a little bit different to go out, basically to go throughout your day. A little bit of different food. It's not always one type. That's kind of how we feel here. We don't hate on anyone. We're not maxis. But we do have our favorites, and we're very, very clear with that. Our favorites, of course, are the XXX and VeChain. For good reason. The entire systems are built on those. XRP for wholesale, XLM for retail, XDC for trade. And again, all of these can do kind of what the other one can do, but they just have their own lane. They have a focus, a design. And that's why we had never from the beginning of, the channel back in 2019, we never had any conflict with those assets, and just time has proven us right. We kind of connected them to everything back then. So there's so many times when we go to make a video, we just felt that it was going to be redundant because we already broke everything apart 6 years ago. Now the news is playing catch up, and it's nice. There's still a lot that we've discussed that are slowly still coming out, but it's been nice to see that everything we discussed has come out. And now we're literally in uncharted territories, unprecedented territories of where our assets are doing, the connections, and then that happens. I mean, that's the whole reason we research for our own investments as well, because in the blink of an eye, as quick as a flash of lightning, I mean, things can change. I mean, again, going back to David Schwartz's headline, I haven't been on this page in a while, but he had the thing where basically saying where Ripple had to choose between something about its vision and survival. So again, even Ripple, a multi-billion-dollar company, had to choose, between its vision and its survival, so to speak. So even though, like with them, things have changed. I mean, who knows if they predicted or even expected the lawsuit to happen, or even much beyond that, happen to be so extended as long as it has been. In America, the whole thing is a quick and speedy trial. This has been quite the opposite, but again, so is America. Today, it's barely recognizable from, if you go back into the 80s, maybe early 90s, man, Gen X, what's happening today in this country would be, you would have never guessed that it was even possible. So there we have that. And enough of that, sharing those thoughts. I think you can see in the community, again, if you have where your investment is, here's my only input. If you have your investment to where you're not going to miss just forgetting about XRP until they raise the price again, just do that, because it is a major asset, but who knows when they're going to release it. It's kind of the thing. And that's one of those things now where flip the switch is like 100 different meetings right now. Flip the switch of manipulation and end it. Flip the switch of suppression and end it. Flip the switch where we know the trials and testing are going to go live on it. Flip the switch to the new plumbing. It goes on and on and on. The list can keep going. But enough with that. Let's get into the news, because I think it's very exciting. In the first article, Ripple fully ready to launch a stablecoin in the Middle East and Africa, states the managing director. Ripple's top executive has clarified why company expects its future stablecoin to succeed on market. And again, like we shared again today, Putin came out and he mentions they're going to move away from the dollar and they're going to use their own currency. And basically they have been now for oil in those BRICS countries. And like we post today, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. You can still use XRP. You can still use Ripple because of the cross-chain, cross-borders. And it's going to bridge everything. If you see it as good, if you see it as bad, it doesn't matter. It's still going to bridge it. So we know Africa is part of that BRICS nation. So again, you can see here how Ripple's already going to connect. So in the Ripple's Middle East and Africa Managing Director, Reese Merrick, shared his personal take on the company's plan to create and launch its native stablecoin. He also explained why he believes it will be a success, while such popular USD-backed stablecoins as USDT and USDC have already existed in the market for many years. So the video, which is in the link if you're interested, was shared by XRP enthusiast at Bank XRP. At Bank XRP, he's definitely an OG too, and much love, Bank XRP. Hope you're having a great day, my brother. So Ripple suddenly shifts 150 million XRP into unknown, and this definitely created a little stir and a buzz. People were instantly thinking, okay, it's shifted into an unknown wallet. Are they getting ready to basically pay a settlement? And who knows? We're waiting to see. Many people believe it's already settled, and they're just getting ready to release the news to the public. But again, we're waiting to see as well as anyone else. And Ripple has initiated a large-scale transfer of millions of XRP tokens to an unknown destination. And according to Well Alert, 150 million XRP were moved basically from one address to the other. And the address, the from address is from Ripple to the address. And that's where they're saying the owner remains a mystery. And that's what sparked the whole speculation of, is that a payment? Is it the SEC? Is it Gary Gensler, etc.? So we'll see how that releases and unfolds throughout the future moving forward. It would be very, very, very exciting. Very exciting, as the community is so exhausted right now of this manipulation, to hear that this case is over and just start seeing XRP move. For me, I mean, of course it's my favorite asset, but the excitement to me really starts past $3.84. Once we break all-time high, then I'll be very, very excited. Either way, it will be good to see it move. Just move up and stop moving back. I think we've had retracement now for 6 years. I think it's got a solid platform and ready to spring. So let's just do that and get this moving. So Ripple CLO slams Gary Gensler's SEC overdue. And Ripple's chief legal officer, the CLO, Stuart Alderati, called out Gensler and the SEC for wasting taxpayer funds on failed efforts to expand the regulatory agency's reach beyond the limits of the law, and the broader implications of the ruling extend beyond private funds. The SEC has signaled its intention to implement new regulations on climate risk disclosures, AI and finance, and crypto assets. So the Fifth Circuit's decision raises concern about the legal basis for such future regulations. And then last but not least, I love to bring these up when I can and when there's one that's worth discussing. So XRP price set for massive 61,390% rally amid Ripple versus the SEC decision. And as Brad Garlinghouse states, back in the 2017 bull run, it would be a repeat of history, because that's when XRP also did a 60,000% price increase from 0.006 to $3.84. So it'd be very exciting to see a 60,000% from here. Now, instead of 0.006, we would be launching from around 0.52. So that 60,000% would be life-changing for many retail investors. So I think, depending on what you hold, I think every one of you who can hear the sound of my voice would be very, very excited. And it's very, very possible and very, very probable that it could happen for many different reasons, let alone the SEC giving clarity. Then you'd have the global clarity, specifically in the USA, for banks and institutions to be using that. And I saw a couple of interviews. I don't know if it was, probably not interviews, probably a good way to say it, but some financial leaders from all the major banks recently on stage discussing that. And again, no matter how many times the community thinks of it and we're exhausted from it, and many people start to overlook that, that is still the priority in the financial world, is having that regulatory clarity. And every single one of those discussions that I've seen from these financial leaders, that is again over and over and over like a broken record. They're waiting equally as well as you and I are, because of the savings they're going to have, the profits they're going to make, the speed and time of that, much less minimizing the stress of now having to, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I guess you could say contact the banks prior of who they, like, so to speak, the IOU of the loan that they covered, processing these funds as they get sent through the wire. And again, instead of 3 to 5 days, you're talking 3 to 5 seconds once you get into the T+0. Now we just got clearance for the T+1. So the next step is the instant payments. And again, it's just moving so fast, but it's tough to believe that when you've been here so long. You know, it's like you've just been waiting and waiting, and you've heard you were early then. It's hard to believe today, 10 plus years later, that you're still early. That's just how slow governments work. That's how slow change really is. So when you get near the end, it feels like, okay, wow, everything's moving fast. But really what it is now those deadlines are coming together. And it took that 10, 20, 30 years for the implementation. But again, here we are at the end zone, and things are about to get very, very exciting for those of you who persevered and made it this far. But Ripple's XRP is poised for a significant breakout amid the ongoing SEC lawsuit, and historical data suggests potential for major gains during this bullish market phase. And again, the 4-year cycle this year, 2024, is Bitcoin cycle. Usually when it goes up and then it peaks a little bit, starts coming back down, the cycle usually begins a little bit early, but we're always the following year for altcoin cycle. So 2025 is the cycle for altcoins. But again, as we've shown, directly stated from the fintech world, where they've say now they're in accelerated mode. So they had to move that up, and it will all begin this year in 2024. And I think Brad Garlinghouse has stated that very clearly at the beginning of the year, that 2024 will be a very exciting year for him. So XRP has been trending within a symmetrical triangle pattern since 2017, and financial analysts anticipate a breakout in the near future. Recently, an industry expert, Amonix, posted on social media expressing optimistic outlooks for XRP, calling it the long-awaited big explosion, and advising followers to prepare for a significant movement. So in 2017, XRP saw a metric rise of 61,150%, and some analysts now predict an even larger surge of 61,390% during the current bullish market. If such a breakout were to occur, it would catapult XRP's price to as high as $320. And where would you be? Obviously, don't post it. Don't share your numbers. Just kind of a thought out loud that you can share to yourself at home and type on your little calculator. Where would you be with XRP at $320? And again, for your safety, don't share your amounts that you hold. Don't share the numbers that you would have, because there's so many people who would like to see that and start targeting your account. And we already see that no matter how many times Ripple has stated to YouTube to kind of remove those off, there's still a fake Brad Garlinghouse, a fake Ripple account on YouTube using the AI and the deep fake or whatever else they might be using to get people to send them tons of XRP. And so many people have fallen for that, because if you're new to crypto, you don't know the difference. You see Brad Garlinghouse literally in his voice showing you, telling you on stage from a Ripple looking site to send them XRP. They'll send you more, sign up for airdrops, etc. Remember, be safe, be cautious. Nobody will ever need your seed phrase. Nobody will ever need your password, and never send anyone any of your crypto. And me personally, I don't even like to promote the airdrops just from companies that I know are legitimately holding them, just because there's so many new people coming in all the time that I don't want them to totally get confused and believe all of them are safe. So from the beginning of this channel, I skip all of the airdrops, and my apologies to any of the legitimate companies who've asked me to mention that, because some of them are free, and that's the reason why. I'm more concerned about our investors. If they choose to do that, that's at their own choice, but I just don't want to confuse the new people, because I want to see all of you debt-free, in new homes, in new cars, and living out your dream because you invested wisely. No matter what you make, just always remember the perseverance it took you to get to this point. Fight even harder to keep the money that you're about to come in. Remember this, the statistics of winning the lottery, if you haven't seen it, search it. It's going to be the same way for many crypto holders, but be very smart. Don't be a statistic in that sense. Invest wisely so that you never have to work again. Guys, remember, this is not financial advice, and as always, before we go, I want to leave you with a final thought. Nothing is impossible. The word itself says, I'm possible. Much love, guys, and we will catch you in the next one.